What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Heart and Hustle Houston, Season 2, Episode 11, Rings and Things. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Y'all, I am on the road to 1K. So, y'all, can we please get me up there to 1K? Okay? As a matter of fact, let me put a little stank on it. It is 1:50 in the morning. Okay? And I am up. Okay, doing this video because I don't feel like doing it tomorrow. Okay, let's be clear. No, for real. Yeah, just get a girl up to 1K, and y'all gotta stop trolling these damn reality TV people pages. Okay, y'all be saying some fucked up shit to people. Stop doing that. Okay? If this is you and you are on my channel and you be doing that, okay, and if you are one of my subscribers, I hold your hand electronically, virtually, when I say this shit. Don't be fucking raggedy. Get some help. And I say that with love. Okay? Okay. Now that we got that out the way, because I've been meaning to say that, I was gonna say it on this particular episode because, you know, y'all done went to Ro and Ashley's page. I'm pretty sure y'all went to some of the other girls' pages and damn threatened the damn people. Okay? Don't do that. That is not okay. Y'all don't stress. These, anyway, review. It's already late. Oh wait, y'all, did I say 1:30 in the morning? It's 1:50. It's time for me to take another shower and go to bed. Okay. Whew. So we pick back up at the trip. And Latoria is at the table talking with Chloe. She gets really upset because she's still trying to explain to Chloe, and Chloe is just in this place of not understanding. So what I realize is Chloe is not only like that in her friend group. It seems as though she's like that outside of her friend group, and you'll see that at the end of this episode. But, you know, we'll get there. So Chloe is still asking what did she do to Latoria. So at this point, Latoria is in full-on tears. She leaves, and Manira and Ashley go out and follow her. And I'm looking at Chloe like, girl, no the fuck not. This lady literally, Ro tells Chloe, she just told you what you did and why she was upset. You still didn't hear anything she had to say. So Chloe goes out to Latoria again, and she said, you know, I wanted to speak with you because you said I downplayed you. And at this point, Latoria is crying so much that I don't even think she knows that she's breathing, but she's just like, you know, it's a lot happening. And so Chloe tells her, I just want to know what I did to you. And I was like, Chloe, girl, this lady is bawling, crying, and I just wish you would try this conversation another time. Right now, cooler heads need to prevail, and you trying to have this conversation with Chloe is not going to work. I mean, I'm sorry, not with Chloe, with Latoria, it isn't going to work. Latoria has talked to you several times. This is just on this trip. Prior to that, she's talked to you with, what's her name? With Dr. Sylvia. It didn't work. She's talked to you in addition with Ro. It didn't work. Again, you are not hearing anybody. You're not in a place of receiving anything. So there, some space really need to be had between you and Latoria. It has been clear that, you know, Ro don't really mess with you, and you know that. So with you and Latoria, there's some space that probably should be had. And this is not being mean. It is just for both parties to really work on some things. You really have to learn how to show up as a friend. And that is unfortunate that whatever you've been through, it's not allowing you to show up in a way you should show up. Because how you show up here, you definitely show up like that with your kids. You did that to Nico, and now you're doing it with these girls, but we'll get there. Anyway, so Rose sees Latoria go off with Chloe, and so she grabs Latoria, and she was like, she was like, no, she's already talked with you. Latoria don't need to be any more upset with you anymore. And Rose did tell Latoria, you were the reason that she had the seizure. And I was like, It's everything. It's a bunch of everything, but we can't just sit all of that on Chloe's step. Like, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot to put on Chloe's step. And I want to say I said that last week. That's a lot to put on Chloe's step. However, when you mad, you say some stuff. That's why I think everybody shouldn't say anything when they're upset. And, yeah, that was a lot to put on Chloe's step. But that's why I really want Latoria to really explain when she talk about the friend group. Is it being on TV, or is it specifically Chloe, or is it, not having issues with the other girls at first, and then it could be a number of things, but I don't think it's just Chloe. I think it's everything she has going on. And I think it's everything that she's doing alone. And it does take a toll on her, but I really want Latoria to really work on her mental. Anyway, Chloe goes into her room with Jordan, and she starts yelling. Y'all, I'll be writing this stuff down. She said y'all wasn't crying over Latoria when she was crying over Labrina. She said, bitch, did you call her? No, it was me. Now everybody's like, oh, Latoria's crying. Fuck y'all. Everybody loved Latoria doing this, doing that. Oh, I saved you. I saved you when you had a seizure. Okay. Would you have saved her 6 months ago? Like, so, bitch, no, you would have laughed. So let me say this. And a lot of people, y'all may not agree, but I really think that rant, that wasn't her only rant, but that particular rant was probably for Labrina, Manera, and maybe Ashley, maybe not so much Ashley. I'm going to assume that rant was for them. So Chloe feels betrayed because Latoria has been with her through thick and thin, and Latoria should know her heart. Chloe, it works both ways. I also think Latoria knows your heart, which is why she handles you with care and she gives you so many chances. I do. Latoria has given you chance after chance, but you don't see that. You don't see that. I think you think she's supposed to, and she really don't. And I think she give it to her own detriment. And that is the problem. Latoria, she said when she was with her cousin, when she was cleaning out her dad's house, Latoria said something about she used to overly love. You still do that in your friend group. And Latoria does that with Chloe. You overly love with Chloe. And I don't know if Chloe is a reminder, if Chloe is kind of a reminder of Latoria's mom in a way. And she overly loves because Chloe I feel like Chloe, I don't know. But that's what I think. Latoria overly loves. Especially to the people who probably don't love her back. And that's unfortunate. So we get down to Chloe. We get back to Chloe. Chloe says to Jordan, why does shit keep coming up? She was like, okay, I get it. Latoria had a seizure. I grew up with my sister having seizures. She said, I grew up with my sister having seizures next to me as a kid. My mama died when I was teaching kids. People don't realize this shit. Like, that's normal for me. My husband died when I was teaching kids. Latoria had a seizure, but she's alive and well. But you don't check on her. She said, I didn't fucking know. And she tells Jordan she's ready to go and she's ready to leave. And see, Chloe, that right there, that second hot mic that you had again, because the first one was a hot mic. This one was another hot mic that has probably costed you Latoria. Because your trauma response lets me further know you are not in therapy. You are not in therapy. This trauma response, the way you respond to things, everybody don't respond to things the way you do. You are like most older people. You are the person that tell people you need to pick yourself up out of bootstrap, and you don't know how to validate people's emotions or feelings. This is the second time you did that in this episode. But you don't validate anybody's emotions or feelings because nobody validated the little girl in you, little Chloe's emotions or feelings. And for that, I hate that for you. I absolutely hate that for Chloe. Y'all may say whatever y'all want about Chloe, but Chloe has a lot. Chloe has a lot. Okay? That lady needs something surpass a hug. Okay? Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. That lady that was seen, I did say this, that lady that Ro was seeing, not Miss Sylvia. Listen, y'all have worked po Miss Sylvia in overtime and overdrive. We don't want to see Miss Sylvia. Okay? Bring on Dr. Francis. Bring on that lady. Y'all know that lady that was on Love and Marriage Huntsville that was sitting with Maurice and Kimmy. Bring her and her husband on. No, for real. The lady that was sitting with Ro last season, she seemed like she'll be a good person, a good therapist that Chloe should actually sit with. But Chloe absolutely needs therapy, and I would love to see that next season if Chloe decides to return back. I think a lot of those women on this show are their trauma is just coming up, and these are everyday women that are navigating through everyday life with everyday trauma. And this is why I like this show, because they are raw. While I think one is very calculated, I do think there is rawness from these different women. Like them or not, there's a rawness. They're not trying to produce scenes. They're not trying to, like what we've been seeing lately. They're not trying to produce scenes. They're not, they're just showing up their raw self. But Chloe, this was very insensitive. And only because you lack empathy and sympathy. And I really hate that for you. And I wish I wish that you would get what you need mentally and emotionally. I really do. And that is not Jordan's mom. And that is not Jordan. Okay? I'm just saying. But your emotions, She probably was shut down a lot as a kid. Whenever she had something, whenever things happen, she probably was just shut down as a kid. Shut the fuck up. It happens. It happens. You know, but I don't know. And then having all the other trauma of being a widow. And maybe somebody told her about her biological clock. And she did get married and she had the life, and she probably had a husband that gave her everything and just allowed her to be herself. And then he passed away, just like her mom passed away. And it was like she just had to keep picking up the pieces because somebody told her, you have to pick up the pieces. And I don't think anybody told Chloe it's okay not to be okay. And I don't think Chloe even told herself it's okay not to be okay. Rambling again. But it just concerns me very deep when it comes to Chloe. Even Ro is so tough. And it just feels like underneath all that, she's very, very kind. Her and Chloe are two different people. But Ro is just tough on the outside. And so that's why when you see her, she's just like, I don't know you. Or, like meeting when she first met Ashley. Or when she met Shaniqua. It takes her a minute to like get to know you. But yes, underneath all of that, she is a nice person. Even when you see like things that are happening in real time on socials, even when you seen her in her therapy sessions, she give her vulnerable self. And I think that's just who she is. And to her core, yes, she is her strength. I think her strength is who she is. But she also has that vulnerable side. And then when you look at Latoria and Manera gives tough because of the world of work she has to be in, but she also give me, I want to be sensitive, but I gotta stay in this tough bag. But Latoria gives me, I am very sensitive. You touch me, I'm going. And Labrina is a tough woman. Like Latoria is a tough. All these women have different strengths about them, and that's just who they are. That is just who they are. Who else? Elena gives me very stoic. So every woman comes different. Nobody's perfect. None of these women are perfect, but everybody's different. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but everybody's different. But everybody has their own personal thing. And I will say this, that is the reason why I like this show, and that's why it is so raw. And I really wish that there was a reunion. I really, really wish we had a reunion, because a lot needs to be said. That's all. So it's the next day. The ladies are having breakfast. Manera gave all the ladies a gift, and she asked about Chloe. Chloe is gone. Don't do that. Labrina said and Labrina said with a look of satisfaction to me on her face as she smiled, she said Jordan's car is gone, so Chloe must be gone. And again, she found some passage in a book saying, girl, please don't feel guilty. And I'm looking at Labrina like, girl, shut up. Because what you think you doing, I don't know if you thought you ate with that passage that you found, but you really did not. Again, y'all know how I feel about that lady. I think she's very calculated, and I really think she is messy. Anyway, but I'm gonna keep it cute. Manera said she's not surprised. She said it in her confessional that Chloe left without saying anything to anyone. Manir, what did you expect Chloe to say? Because at the end of the day, let's keep it all the way a buck. Nobody wanted her there except for Latoria. Let's keep it all the way 100. Nobody wanted her there except for Latoria. And then when she pissed Latoria off, it had to take a lot for Latoria to say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I wasn't mad at Latoria. When it comes to Chloe, I understand Ro and Latoria's feelings. And that is it. That is it. The rest of y'all, I don't get it, and I won't get it. Anyway, then while she's still in her confessional, she said, well, drive safe with a smile in her face. Again, y'all didn't want her there initially. I wish she wouldn't have never came. But that's just my personal opinion. So then Labrina's messy ass asked them how did they feel about last night. Girl, somebody, I don't know who said it, but somebody was like, girl, was you there? And did they have a good time? And I'm like, again, girl, bye. Now, I'm looking at everybody. The camera pans on everybody. Again, Ro doesn't smile. She don't crack a joke. Like, even in the other episodes where the ladies was cracking jokes, she wasn't doing much of that. And she could have, but she spoke how she felt. And I just don't think it was nothing wrong with that, because she was coming from a hurt, pissed place. You know what? I'm gonna leave it, because I've seen a lot on socials and how everybody was feeling about the stuff. And that's all I'm gonna say. But I feel differently about it. Again, when it comes to Ro and Latoria, I understand their frustration. This not me taking up for anybody, because y'all know I'm an equal opportunity, and I'm gonna tell y'all where y'all wrong. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't have favorites. I don't. But I do like Elena, y'all. I do. Even though we don't see her, okay, I like her. Okay, I don't know if she's coming back next season, but I like her. And I will give my overall assessment at the end of this review, because I want to say this was the last episode. Anyway, the ladies are having a conversation about Chloe again, and I feel like Chloe's gone, so let that be, and that's just that on that. Let it just be. So Chloe and Jordan are home with the girls, and they're playing a game of charades, and they speak with the girls, and she tells Jordan, I think it was Noel. Was it Noel? Nolan. I'm sorry. They speak with the girls, and Nolan, when I tell you Chloe's girls have the level of intelligence that a lot of adults don't have, okay? Shout out to these girls. So they speak with the girls, and Nolan tells Jordan, we know you didn't do this. I know you didn't do this, but she know who did, and I don't want to hurt her feelings. So Chloe asks, what did she do? Chloe, that has to be your go-to line all season. I feel like, I don't even know. Anyway, Nolan tells Chloe, you hid this from us. Chloe admits that she didn't tell them for a while because she wanted to be sure. And so I understand that. Like, I'm not going to bring anybody around y'all that I'm really not sure about. So I'm going to keep things quiet. So Nolan tells Chloe, I don't think you think it's your fault. And I was like, oh my God. Nolan is still not okay with them being married. And Chloe tells her, well, Jordan needs to know why. Chloe, Jordan don't need no shit. Okay? Nolan doesn't owe him an explanation. She told you how she felt, and in that moment, I just felt like conversation needed to end. Jordan needed to leave or go to the other room or something. I just felt like Jordan is still not in a space where he needs to be involved in these type of conversations, because it is still sensitive to Nolan. It's sensitive to Noah and Nolan. And until they get to, and again, my question, was those girls in therapy? And if not, they really need to, because they lost their father. And again, the way you respond to grief, they're not going to respond like that. They respond different. All they see is some man coming and replacing their dad who died. And you're trying to convince them otherwise. But that is all they see. Baby, y'all be so quick. It's just a little rant. Y'all be so quick to put these raggedy ass niggas first that y'all don't see what's going on with y'all children. They can tell y'all. Anyway, the hardest conversations do come from your children. The hardest conversations do come from your children. I had a hard conversation with my daughter the other day. And she's 20. And so guess what I'm going to do with that hard conversation? Bring it to my therapist so I can work on some stuff. She said what she said. Guess what? I need to work on some stuff. Oh, and not some stuff. I need to work on one thing. She made it clear. Let me go work on me. Let me go work on that. Because I need to talk about that. Anyway, Nolan says she doesn't feel comfortable, and Chloe asks her why. Chloe, she doesn't know why. She just knows she feels uncomfortable, and maybe you should just hear that and let that be that. Anyway, Chloe gets up. She tells Nolan, you can talk to Jordan if you need to, because maybe I'm in a way. And then she just leave. I think at that point I got annoyed with Chloe. I got really annoyed with Chloe. I get that that's frustrating to you, because you are battling keeping this man in your life. You know, you're battling that. I don't know why we having an issue with that. That whole mama gotta have a life too. Here is the thing. As a mother of little kids, baby, they can't work around you. You have to work around them. That means there are some things that may not be able to happen in your life because of them. I'm sorry, it happens. Y'all may disagree in all of the things, but sometimes you have to put your own needs behind you. And I know people say, hey, that's, you got to put your needs first, and that's selfish. If you don't, I understand that too. But that depends on what that need is. So if it's one of these needs, listen, if you want to hang out with him and go on him, you can absolutely go do that at his house and be that to him. And this can be your friend, your friend or whatever. I don't know. But those kids are not ready to have a full-time man in the house, especially if they had a man. They're only, however old they are, they haven't had much experience with you, because obviously they've been with their dad, you and their dad. And then when their dad died, Nico had to really step in. And then you came, and they've had the little time that they had with you. And now here you're bringing in Jordan. And now they feel like they're being replaced by Jordan. That's not okay, Chloe. That's not okay. They're little. They're little kids. No kids want to feel like somebody is being put above them and before them. And again, that old mentality of like when Nolan said what she said at the end, I am so used to people saying she need to stay in the child's place. No. She said exactly how she felt. And I'm glad she has a space to say how she feels. There are adults that are uncomfortable with Nolan expressing her feelings. That's a problem. That's one of those, because a long time ago, if this was years and years ago, Nolan wouldn't have never been able to do that. I wouldn't have never been able to do that. And I think it's sad. That's why now, a lot of us are now being able to express how we feel, or we're allowing our kids to express how we feel. And so the people that's older than us, that looks grown and is not grown. Anyway, sorry y'all, again, long-winded a little bit. Latoria and Manira meets up. So Latoria is a brand ambassador for a dating app to find a man with dogs, or maybe a man find a woman with the dog or something. I don't know. Anyway, Manira visits Latoria. They talk about Chloe. Again, I'm so tired of y'all having this conversation with Chloe, because now it feels like, are y'all literally trying to kick Chloe off the island by way of conversation? That's how I feel, because that's what's been happening on these little reality shows. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this. I know Chloe is a wee bit problematic, right? But Manira having conversations about Chloe like she care. This was like gnawing in the back of me. Acting like she care, but deep down you really don't give a fuck about Manira. That shit fake as fuck. But I'm gonna let you have it. Sister girl. So Chloe meets up with Elena, because y'all know that's her only ally. Elena. So Elena says she's in a better place right now. She's protecting her peace and her nervous system is great. We have gotten a different version of Elena, and I think she has given a lot of her stuff, and she's not able to give that as much when it comes to the whole ugly ass Josh situation. But she gives, we hardly see her, and that is, hey, it is what it is. I don't know. The show is over, I think. And sometimes she said it comes with isolation, so now she wants to have a good time. Elena filed for divorce, and they are fully separated. She doesn't want anything, and she said, yes, she would like to be paid back, but he feels like he doesn't owe her a dime. Apparently, they're splitting bills, so I'm assuming that's probably why he don't owe her a dime. I don't know. And she's not asking for anything. She just wants to be amicably separated. So Chloe is asking a whole lot of questions about Josh. And again, Chloe, stop. Because no, don't. So Elena, she let her know, I don't care where Josh is. I don't care what Josh is staying. I don't care. And she's being messy as, okay, this is why Ro is pissed off at you. You're messy. This is why the ladies don't see it for you. So Elena tells her, listen, I'm not talking about nothing else, Josh. It is what it is. So Chloe tells her how Ro ain't talking to her, and and Elena said Chloe comes from a genuine place. She said this in her confessional, but Chloe has a mouthpiece on her, and then we pan back to how Chloe said Josh wasn't sexy. Y'all remember that. So Elena wants Chloe to step back and process everything she has went through with the friend group and all of the things. She also wants her to hang in there. But Elena, I noticed, didn't say anything negative, because she is still friends with those girls. And she kept it really, really cute. So we get to Will's retirement party. I didn't get much. Everything was pretty. The ladies were very beautiful. The decor was really, really nice. I thought I saw Deion Sanders, but I saw ugly ass Josh, and that's all I got. Okay, everybody looked good. All right. Chloe thinks that she's shooting content, but obviously it's a proposal. So back at Labrina's party, it's very, very charged at the Chloe hate train. It just feels very charged. And Manira, I feel like, is a little bit second in command with that. I feel like Labrina, to me, definitely made sure to move the storyline away from her and push it in other places. Shout out to you with your messy ass. All right. You know, I give everybody a clean slate every season. I'm going to give everybody a clean slate next season, including you, Labrina, Ashley, and Manira. I very much am. With an open heart and an open mind, because somebody going to piss me off next season. Anyway, Chloe goes to the room and she sees Jordan with flowers, asking him 101 questions. She really gets emotional because they go into another room and then he proposed to her. She reads off the the things on the paper, and then she sees family there, and then there is Nolan and Noah, and the way they looking, no smiling, no nothing. I was like, ooh, child, I don't even know how to respond to that. Because those babies wasn't having it. They said how they felt, and they were still disregarded. And I just feel like kids are still owed respect. Young kids, teenagers, and there are adults out there who feel like they shouldn't be respected because they're kids. And they still need respect. Anyway, Chloe says she's hurt that Latoria couldn't be there, but if nobody's happy for her, then they need to keep their distance. And I'm like, are you talking about Latoria, or are you talking about Ro, or are you talking about the rest of the ladies? Because keep in mind, you are at odds with all of the ladies, so your expectations for them to be there should definitely be at a 0, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. Anyway, Chloe asked her, this was an absolute no, and I wish Chloe had not did this. I wish none of this had happened after the girls had expressed how they felt. I wish I would have known what was the time in between they had the conversation with Chloe. I mean, that those two had that conversation with the girls on the sofa at home versus the proposal. How long in between did all of this happen? Because if this was still around the same time, I feel like that was wrong because y'all still heard those girls out. So Chloe asked her girls in front of everyone if they approve, and they said nothing. And Nolan said, I don't care. I really don't care. Noah said nothing. Chloe asked Nolan for a kiss. She was like, no. And Chloe said, tell everybody, they'll want to try on my ring when they get home. And she was like, no, I won't. I was like, ooh, Lord Jesus. My heart really went out to Chloe and her kids. I wish they can have some type of understanding, but I really wish Chloe would just hear them and not feed her own personal need. Sometimes you can't, when you in this space, you can't always, it's not, I cannot say you're never gonna always be happy. I'm trying to find the right verbiage for this moment, but you have to sometimes put your personal needs aside and get to a space. Wait till everything is copacetic. And again, y'all might not even agree with me. And that is okay. That is okay. I only know what it's like to be a single mom. And again, putting a lot of my needs to the side. But for me, the difference between me and Chloe was I was okay with that. Because it was fine. Like, I had to do what I had to do. And that was my thing. Like, I had to do what I had to do. It was just, I was just taught as a mother, you do what you're supposed to do and not what you want to do. And I know that that's not an okay thing, but that's what I learned. I had my son at 20. I had my daughter at 24, 23, 24, I don't know. But you do what you have to do. And that was what I knew. And so I did what I had to do. And even though I had a lot of space, time, I had the community of people to do what I wanted to do, I still chose above it. I still chose to do what I had to do and not what I wanted to do. So, yeah. Anyway, Labrina gave the ladies a step speech, and I was like, girl, okay. Anyway, Chloe, so the girls are in a car with, I think, a family friend. Chloe goes to the car to talk to the girls. Nolan is crying. She tells her mom to leave. He was like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Nolan says that it's too soon. Well, the family friend relates to Chloe that Nolan says that it's too soon and it's too early for you and Jordan to be married and gay, basically for any of this. Chloe asks Nolan, are you really mad at me? I'm like, Chloe, are you okay? Are you okay? Because it's feeling like you're not okay. So she get in her confessional and she said, and this right here, y'all, again, I don't know. This is the first, I don't even know how to feel in this moment. Because Chloe was truly honest in her feelings. She said, I want to be mad at them, but I understand how they feel. It is so hard. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I almost started crying. And I started crying. I almost started crying for both Chloe and those girls. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. I know we want to be super hard on Chloe. But sometimes, again, you have to leave those, you want him, but you got to leave. You got to leave. You got to leave. So Chloe goes back to the car and Nolan don't want to talk. She left. I don't know if she left and came back. And hold on one second, y'all. All right, y'all. So where I was at, Chloe goes back to the car and Nolan tells her, because this video getting long, Nolan tells her she don't want to talk to her. Chloe asks them, what's wrong with y'all? And Nolan said, you're ruining our lives, okay? She tells them that is heavy. She said she understands that her girls are experiencing so much pain, but they have to understand that life goes on and mommy has to be happy. She just can't be with them for the rest of their lives. Chloe, they're not asking that of you. They are young. They need you right now. They are not saying, hey, mom, we need you to be with us for the rest of our lives. They're not asking that. You are making it that way because you are pissed off because those girls don't like your nigga. And it's just as simple as that. Anyway, That little girl is bawling, crying. So Chloe goes around. She asks Nolan for a hug. And I tell y'all, that little girl is bawling, crying. Okay. Chloe said she don't like the drama and she don't like the way she's feeling. Chloe, that whole statement is very Chloe centered. Once again, when somebody tells you how you feel, you make it about you. Anyway, it is very clear that we get back to the other ladies. And so it is very clear that it seems that the one who's so evolved, the one who's, y'all not on my level, Miss Not on my level, okay? It is very clear that she has came, conquered, and did whatever the hell she wanted. I feel like she wants to be the head B in charge, B-E-E, okay? Not B-I-T-C-H. She wants to be the head B in charge. Okay, and she wants Chloe out. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And this is where the episode ended. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm going to say this. Y'all did a good fucking job with y'all season 2. Okay? Y'all did a good fucking job. Okay? Y'all did good. It was not an episode that was not good. I will say this. I got tired of Precious Gate. That shit ran me thin. And I got tired of having all these meetings with Miss Sylvia. I don't want to see Miss Sylvia no more. Okay? I will say this. Honest assessment, who needs to go? Nobody. Not none of y'all. Not none of y'all. Not none of y'all. Not even Chloe. Okay? I told y'all Chloe and Labrina are good for TV. Elena, listen, girl, I like you, okay? But if you're gonna be all color du jour, you can be all color du jour. And if you wanna, just, you can be a friend of. That's the only recommendation that I have, where you and Ashley can swap, where Ashley should not be a friend of, because Ashley did bring something. She bring a lot to the show. And Ashley shouldn't be a friend of. Ashley should actually be able to get her whatever y'all handing out, okay? Ashley should be a main cast. But if you're going to show up like this next season, Elena, you probably should be either a friend of, which is fine, or not be on the show. Because what you did give was a friend of role. And I understand that you had to work on your mental health. I'm gonna say this. Like a Love, Labrina, and Chloe, they did give us drama. Everybody did good. Manira, I'm gonna give you you alright. You alright. Okay. Maybe we can bring on one more girl. Not Shaniqua's ass, because I don't, and not one of Labrina's friends, okay? But yeah, this season was definitely good. I just wish that, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the whole Chloe versus everybody else situation, I feel like some of the ladies could have really coexisted with Chloe. As far as role, Latoria and Chloe, I feel like y'all had such a solid friendship, and I really feel like Chloe really needs to do the work on herself. Really needs to do the work on herself. Overall, she really needs to do the work on herself and show up better for Chloe, show up better for her family, and I mean the people under her household, and just show up better, learn how to be a better friend. You know, and I don't even mind being Chloe sometimes being a bone carrier, because again, we need an antagonist, we need a bone carrier, we need, but not at the detriment of your real life friends, girl. I do think that messy ass Ashley and Labrina, you know, was messy. But ultimately, I think you ladies did a wonderful job this season. I was definitely hard on y'all this season, and I'm probably going to be harder next season, and only because once again we're going to walk away without another reunion, and then we're going to come back with something else, and maybe a reunion isn't good because we're going to have to revisit whatever happened outside of the season. Ro, don't read all the comments, girl. Block these people. Ashley, block these people. I don't know who else is getting these threats, but I don't know if y'all have somebody taking over y'all social media accounts, or if y'all on y'all, you know, I think Ro is usually on her own social media account. I don't really know much about Ashley, but especially Ashley, even as a mental health professional, block these people. Block these people. If you have to step away from a lot of, especially Twitter, okay, because baby, do not go on X, Threads, anywhere where, you know, just, you know, and also understand, YouTube, in these YouTube streets, we're not always going to be in favor of y'all, but we only get what they give us in 42 minutes. That's it. Okay? We only get what they give us in 42 minutes. So sometimes our opinions may not be favorable, but we mean well. Okay, we appreciate y'all for supporting our channel. Like, I don't know. I just know Ro was the only one on my channel. Shout out to you for being on my channel. I appreciate you. Okay. But other than that, y'all, that was a wrap, y'all. That was it. Let me know what y'all thought about this season. I really thought that this season was good. We didn't have a whole lot of episodes, but we need production to do a lot better with, you know, not being so choppy on situations. We absolutely need a reunion. We need to start having fucking reunions. Okay? And let me see, reunions, production, I don't know, but yeah. Cash trips probably should be outside of Houston, not Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, or New Orleans. No, we need to go outside of here, you know, outside of, you know, again, need to be somewhere else. Okay? So yeah, y'all did y'all big one for y'all second season. I'm not mad at that. We appreciate y'all being so raw. However, we appreciate we would like production to give us more of y'all hustle and kind of scale back on the drama, because y'all think we like the mess and the drama. We really do want to see more of these ladies hustle. If you're on the production side and you're listening, okay, we need more hustle and less of the fucking drama. Okay, we get a lot of that on all these other stupid ass shows. Okay, and I said what I said. Anyway, yes, with all of that being said, y'all, this is the end of my review This was a lot. Okay? This is your girl QY, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.